This is a demonstration of how to prepare a manual for an on-site play shop or workshop. As you can see on the cover here, this is one with the label Rich Campy. We actually want to have Pro Advisor Coach. We were just using the last of these booklets up. But on the corners here, the plastic has been removed. There's a blue plastic film that should be removed. Then if we go ahead and open this up, notice what we have here is that on the left side, there's a pocket for a DVD. In here we could have the Advisor 7 Secrets, the off-season, maybe Capture the Champion Within CD, and also a pocket to put additional information that you might need. Now we'd actually want to have these binders as we go forward to purchase them, so it's much easier with the rings here that are located on the back cover so that the book will sit better, but this works fine for now, and as we go forward we can do that. And the center point, we notice the Pro Advisor Coach logo and then the Mass Mutual. We want to actually reverse that. We should put Mass Mutual first, so we're always featuring the client as the primary and us as the secondary, keeping them in the forefront. If we notice the tabs on this particular one, we have MindScan Report, MindScan Graphs, Peak Performance Workshop, and the A7S, which is the Advisor 7 Secrets presentation. Now, on this particular workbook, there's 8 tabs we're using, which is usually a good amount of tabs. To start with is 8. If we flip to the very next page now, we'll see that we have an agenda. Now this agenda is great. It's awesome to have it right up front. Notice that the times are in here. We've got the company name on the top, the date, and what we're doing throughout the day. Some additional pieces that would be really valuable here would be to have the company logo on the top, the location of the event, the attendees both from the coach side and the client side, and then some contact information from our side at the very bottom of the agenda down in the footnote. If we flip now to the very next page, we see Rich Campy's bio here. Whoever's participating in the event should have a bio or several bios up front. If we go to the next page, we'll notice that we have Jamie Crolin's bio here, who is also participating to facilitate this event. If we switch to the next page, we'll see Dr. Hartman's bio. Always good to have him involved because he created the MindScan and the formal axiology. If we go to the back of his bio, we'll notice a key. Now this particular key is only for the instructor manual, right? So this is showing the 1 through 20 and who is who based on the graphs that we'll show you just in a moment. But this is good to have in the instructor's manual so they can see real quick reference who's going to be attending and what their names are that match up, because in the participant manual they're only numbered, there's no names attached. If we now go to tab number 1, we can see that we have the actual MindScan, the full 20-page report for one of the managers in this organization. And even though they have the full MindScans and we may have sent them or may have emailed it, it's always a good idea to include these in the manual so they can take notes and have it all in one place. If we now go to tab number 2, we now have the graphs for the event. And you can see this is really set up well because the company name's on top, we're second, it's got the extremely confidential program there, which really is confidential, right? Because this is important information that we're sharing and it's all confidential. Notice when we flip through here, these are graphs, they're set up horizontally, and on this particular graphs, the names are listed, where in the participant manual, it would only be the numbers, which is why we illustrated the numbers previously, that those are there. If we now go to tab number 3, we can see this is the Leadership Peak Performance Through Self-Awareness program. It's an actual workbook that we'd go through, and you can see there's things to fill out here along the way, and that's a blank of the MindScan, and there's a lot of resources in here. This is a very interactive workshop that will work with the clients to do on site. If we now go to tab number 4, we've got the Advisor 7 Secrets. Notice this is now in presentation format with areas they can actually write on this form in the workbook and participate and take notes, because it's more of a persuasion piece of the program as opposed to what we do where it's totally interactive and they're actually adding pieces, so they'd want to take good notes in this particular part. If we now go to tab number 5, here's some additional resources for the leaders or if they may have taken the MindScan. In this case, we're including the full Journal of Formal Axiology, Theory and Best Practice, which is the most recent 117 page, basically manuscript of real in-depth around the MindScan, Dr. Hartman, and formal axiology. This can be used in a couple ways. One, like to have it in there for the leaders so they have a little bit something extra that they have, but it's also used for people that may have already been certified in the MindScan. This will help others to be very interested in taking the MindScan certification and going forward with that. If we now tab all the way to the end, we've got tabs 6 and 7 completely open, as you can see, and we go all the way to tab number 7 here. Perfect. Now we have just a quick media kit, and this is just giving them information and value moving forward and what they could do as they participate with us more into the future. And you can see here it's just a quick media kit, and there's still some extra tabs. We could even put this all the way in the back at the very end after tab 8 if we chose to. And just real fast, again, notice where we should really have the binder rings going forward would be on the back flip side, and that just lets the binder sit easier, and we'll work on getting those improved over time here as we continue to practice CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. Thank you so much, and have a great program.